It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that's why you are seeing a lot of pink in the crowd here today. We're underway on a Sunday in Chapel Hill. Irish going down the middle. What a great dig there by May to keep that alive for Carolina.
Wow, big swing by Palazzolo. Just missing the top of the hands. She sees that shot usually really well, Rob. I think she'll get other opportunities, but she's someone that the blockers for North Carolina really have to key on and be aware when they have point-scoring opportunities.
We'll try Palazzolo once more. Down the right side, and that's going to fall through for the kill for the Irish. So Notre Dame led by their second-year head coach, Salima Rockwell. And what an adventure it has been for her in her first 2 years in South Bend.
That's probably an understatement when you think about taking over a program like Notre Dame and just the timing. You know, when she came in, she only had 6 players on the roster, and so the work that she and her staff did to get this roster to a competitive level is really awesome.
What a dig, and it results in the point, Maddie May. And she is so good at that. We've seen it all season long, Corey. You see the stats there. One of the best in the ACC at just over 3 digs per set.
Yeah, you don't really plan for your digs to result in immediate kills like that,
right.
But, you know, we'll take it. We'll definitely take it.
A 2-1 start for Carolina. And some miscommunication there. Lucy Trump and her teammates could not get the ball. On the flip side for North Carolina, head coach Mike Shull, so Salima Rockwell in her second year, Mike Shull in his first year at the helm of North Carolina in this program.
Yeah, a little different situation because Mike had been the assistant coach for a few years with Joe Segula, so all of the players in the program and the administrators, even the fans, boosters, were very familiar with Coach Shaw, and he has such a tremendous respect from everyone that knows and works with him. I think it was a great choice to lead this program.
And Salima Rockwell knows him very well. We'll get to that a little later on in the broadcast, but they have a special connection, and she echoed that when we talked with her a little earlier today, just saying, hey, Mike is one of the best here in the conference. Super excited to see him get that head coaching gig for North Carolina, and this should be a fun matchup between 2 coaches that know each other really, really well.
Yeah, the leadership for both squads is rock solid. You talk about their pedigrees, their experience, coaching and being around top-level programs. They both check that box. And we're already seeing in the early going here, tough defensive plays, extending rallies. This should set up for a battle all afternoon.
Off the block attempt was Hampton, who had a great performance against Louisville on Friday for the Tar Heels. That one finds the floor, and Notre Dame goes back in front at 4-3.
Boy, such a crafty play by Drenwick. And, you know, you think about when you have a good offense and you're trying to get that offensive flow, it starts with the quarterback. Can we get one-on-one opportunities? Can we see the block well and get our hitters in situations where they can score? And so far early here, she's doing that.
From the back row.
What a rip.
Amani Foster bringing some power behind that swing. The graduate coming in over 3 kills per set. Let's get another look at how much power she just had behind that.
Yeah, such a great option there, Rob. When you've got a front row setter, you have 2 front row hitters. If you can have that third attacking element coming out of the back row, it just puts so much pressure on the defense.
And the response. Palazzolo saying, hey, I have some power behind my swing as well.
It didn't take long for her to score, and we're going to see a lot more opportunities from her being the kills leader on this team, and they use her in so many ways. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they use her throughout the match, particularly out of the back row.
We mentioned on Friday, Mabry Schaffmaster out with that injury. And we said it at the top of the broadcast, some big shoes to fill. No surprise about that. But Coach Shull was very pleased with some of his other key contributors already this season, raising the importance of their role on Friday. We're talking about Amani Foster, Romani Thurman, Sophie Hampton, all did very well against one of the top teams in the country on Friday.
Well, and particularly the freshmen. When you look at Sophie Hampton and Romani Thurman, you know, the experience they're getting with some serious minutes and starting playtime here as freshmen is going to bear fruit. And when you're getting to that meat part of the schedule in the ACC, that experience bearing fruit at that time is really huge. Now they've seen what the top teams in the league present, and can they raise their own level to meet that? That's what I'm excited to see here with those freshmen.
I'm sure some people, when they heard that Mabry Schaffmaster was out, was not going to play, and North Carolina going up against number 6 Louisville, thinking, oh man, that might get ugly. And Carolina took the first set. Surprised a lot of people, took the opening frame against the Cardinals and put up really good fights against Louisville in set 2 and 3. And when we talked with Coach Shaw, he said, I wasn't surprised. I know what I have. I know my players. He was not fazed by it at all. Said, we absolutely knew we had a chance against Louisville, and it's really good, especially, you mentioned, the freshman. What he is working with here in 2023, you got to be pleased. You're a former coach as well. If you have a couple of young guns like that can step up when the time is asked, it's got to be a pretty good feeling as a head coach.
It really is. And, you know, as we watch this last play again, we're seeing early here teams using back row attacking as a mainstay so far offensively. So is that something that they saw in the scouting report they could have success with? Both teams are passing a little hot and cold, but if we are out of system, we know that we can go to that back row option. You know, to touch on the point about the freshman, Rob, I think you're spot on. This is one of those matches where if the freshmen can elevate their play for a longer period of time, they can sustain that level for 2-3 sets. Now you're on to something.
A freshman there for Notre Dame, Ava Lang with the kill. Notre Dame takes an 8-7 lead, and North Carolina will take an early timeout. Good one here to start our action. We'll be back from Chapel Hill. In front 8-7 and forcing an early timeout by Coach Mike Shull and his Tar Heels. Welcome back, Rob Connick, Corey Carlin, and the rest of our ACC Network crew. On a Sunday afternoon in Chapel Hill. Good swing there from Hampton.
And both teams going toe-to-toe, Rob, and they're back row attacking. Both teams are serving tough with their service pressure, so they're getting the other team out of system. We're seeing a lot of those out-of-system swings. That's always kind of that hidden stat, right? It doesn't really show up on the stat sheet, but how effective are you attacking out of system when you're not passing well? In large part will dictate if you win at a high level, and so far both teams are trading punches pretty well.
Nolan with the tap. Another freshman.
Better swing by Lane there.
And that one's rejected. It's Nolan and Thurman getting their hands up to give Carolina a 9-8 lead.
Yeah, we talk about really great blockers and what they do. They get there with their feet first, so they jump up in control and time their press. Great technique there.
Foster with the roll.
So far, both teams all over those short rolls and tips, defending the front third of the court very well. Ooh.
That one on the line.
Yeah. Boy, just like she drew it up, right? It's anytime you can attack a ball within a foot of the sideline, you more often than not are going to get the defenders kind of guessing, maybe thinking it's going out, but great shot by Thurman.
And
ooh,
that one's an ace.
Did the Tar Heels practice painting the lines in practice there? Boy.
That back line is becoming their friend. You get another look at it. Right on the paint.
Boy, we mentioned service pressure, and you just saw a great example of it there. Much better swing by Lang.
Foster with the rip. A little ricochet off of Munson for the kill, and North Carolina on a run here. They're now up by 4.
And during that 4-point run, Rob, it's been aggressive serving and aggressive attacking, really testing Notre Dame's defense and challenging them to step up.
This is a North Carolina team that is well known in the ACC for their serving game. Very aggressive. And it's a 6-0 run for the Tar Heels and Notre Dame will take a timeout.
Yeah. Notre Dame's going to have to come out really aggressive when they come out of this break.
When you look at what North Carolina did on Friday, very similar to what they are doing here today so far in set one. And we mentioned how Louisville ranks 6th in the country. Tar Heels playing without their top player, Mabry Schaffmaster, surprised some with that first set win, 25-19. And even though Louisville took the next 3 sets to win, you look at those scores, Corey Carlin, 23, 20, and 19.
Yeah, this is, as you're building a program, trying to get to that upper echelon in that top group of the ACC, you have to have benchmarks. And the first benchmark, the first box you want to check is, did we compete with the top program? That means, did we win a set? Was it close? Did it go to overtime? You know, did we stretch rallies? And not only is the score reflective of that, but I think that Coach Shaw and his staff can take some positives away from Friday's match. Now, the next step is, when we see another top team, can we extend it longer?
Yeah. The one thing that did hurt Carolina, you saw their 15 combined service errors. And when we talked with Mike Scholl during the week, and we've done this throughout the season, and he continues to repeat himself about, we are a work in progress. We are still trying to figure out all the right pieces. We have so many new faces and young faces, and being a first-year head coach, done pretty well with this Carolina program.
We knew it wouldn't take long for the Carolina program to take a step up with Coach Shaw. Again, he has been around top-level volleyball. He understands what it takes to compete at the top level and instill that into his players. Now, you have to recruit well. You have to have a good staff. You have to have those pieces in place. But as far as the leadership and experience, there's very few like Coach Shaw, and I think he's getting it done.
And he's such, whenever you talk to him, he's just such a calm, cool, collected, level head, no matter what, whether they're winning or losing, he just remains the same, very easy to talk with, and he relays that when he's coaching out there on the sidelines and with his assistants and his entire coaching staff. And you have a team like this where you have a couple of seasoned veterans, you have a couple of transfers, you have a good handful of talented freshmen. To find those pieces, obviously it's going to take throughout the whole season to figure out what's working. And even when we talked with Coach Kelly of Louisville before that Friday match, so what makes Carolina so difficult? And she said, you don't know who's going to start. They play so many players. They have so many great talented players on this roster who can block like that, who can get some kills, who can rattle off some digs or rattle off some aces. It's a very hard team to figure out if you're an opponent of Carolina.
Well, as we see Thurman score again, those are those interchangeable pieces. Here comes Schaffmaster. Look at Thurman just use that outside hand, such great vision, especially after just getting blocked, you know, to go right back to her. Great decision there.
How about that? Mabry Schaffmaster misses Friday's game because of injury. She comes in and serves up an ace.
Just like we drew it up, right? That's what we talked about pregame. Great to see her back on the court. She means so much to her team, what she brings with her swagger on the court and her competitiveness. Boy, and for the thing about Schaffmaster for this Tar Heels team is she's done it before. The younger players know that she's established. She has been one of those ACC players who's been a consistent, you know, in her play. And so you can kind of relax a little bit in those big moments when she's on the court next to you because you know what she brings. So to see her back out there after missing Friday's match is really special.
She's there to celebrate her teammate, Sophie Hampton, with another kill.
Yeah, so far, Rob, the offense for the Tar Heels has just been a little too much for the Irish. They're getting it done at the pin. They're getting it done from the back row. Really aggressive swings and aggressive serving.
Yeah.
You know, the service pressure I've been really impressed with, and that's kind of set the tone and made the Irish one-dimensional. You know, Notre Dame has had some quality swings from the pins and from Palazzolo out of the back court, but neither team's really gotten their middles going yet, and that's been reflective of poor passing.
Down the line, Lucy Trump, who gets the starts here today for the Irish. Coach Lima Rockwell said she earned it after that performance against Duke. did not play the first 2 sets. Came in set 3 and 4 and finished with a good handle on attacking 7 kills, hitting 312 in just 2 sets played for Lucy Trump. And so that's why Coach Rockwell says, hey, we'll get her the start, and she's making a difference so far.
When you're in this moment of the conference schedule, both coming off tough losses, both teams on Friday night, you have to ride the hot hand, and that's competitive team sports. So great to see her taking advantage of the opportunity. A great swing there.
Wow.
Cleaning up the overdig. You need that spark. You need those players who, if you're on a little bit of a skid, maybe the identity of the team isn't quite solidified yet, then there's some flexibility there. And can we get some of these other players in who are hot right now and executing right now to get on the floor and maybe a different role?
Trump now leading the way with 4 kills for Notre Dame. Carolina with the response.
Coach Rockwell mentioned before the match, Rob, about just the tenacity she's looking for on defense. And she felt like last weekend that, it wasn't quite where she wanted it to be, so they focused on it in practice. She saw some, growth there Friday night against Duke, and she's going to have to evaluate if her team's on track this match. And so far we've seen spurts, right? We've seen some aggressive defensive plays, but with the offense clicking like it is for North Carolina, the defense for the Irish is going to have to play at that high level if they're going to get some momentum here.
And Coach Rockwell says we have a very good, fun, loose team. They like to have fun with each other, but now when you get into the nitty-gritty part of the conference schedule, you got to find that, like you said, tenacity, that grit of trying to find, all right, we can stay loose, have fun as a team. We love each other. We're going to support each other. But when it all comes down to it, we still got to roll out some wins.
Right, we got to battle. And that's what team sports, college athletics, that's one thing that is a huge learning moment. Let's be together. Let's support each other. But we got to get in the fight together, man. We got to get after it. Great rally here.
Rainbow shot there by Hampton. Now Swift off the block attempt. Carolina keeps it alive. Schaffmaster will send it over.
Wow.
Good dig there by Trump. Through the blockers. Palazzolo for the kill.
And what's great about Palazzolo is she's not afraid of the block. I think a lot of attackers, you get blocked once or twice and you tend to get tentative, right? You start getting tip happy and great defensive play there to extend the rally, but watch how she finishes. This aggressive approach, and she's not afraid to go at the block smartly, and a lot of players can score when they do that.
Service error makes it 21-16. And Coach Scholl will make a substitution. It'll be Carson Overbeck coming in to serve for the Tar Heels.
Really great passing rotation for the Irish. We've got our smalls back there, our backcourt players, passing specialists, keeping us in system.
Boy, swing and a miss there by Lauren Tarnoff. She wants that one back.
Yeah, for sure. It's not a great setter-hitter connection. That pass gave you some options. I think the Irish would want to speed that tempo up if they can, get some seams, some one-on-one opportunities. Another good pass.
Dug up by Meyerhofer. The swing and the kill for Foster.
If you're Drew Nick, the setter for the Irish, I would love to see her go back to the slide there, because the block for North Carolina in this two-hitter phase when the setter's front row, they're doubling the outside. They're doubling Palazzolo. Now, she can score, of course, but I think you're just living a little dangerously if you can't get that one-on-one matchup. The great counter attack from North Carolina, taking care of business. Right now, they're in the driver's seat.
23-16. Irish trying to avoid a set 1 loss. They were able to win set 1 in their matchup against Duke back on Friday night. As we take a look at what happened there up in Durham, the Irish come out 25-21, but the Blue Devils respond. How about that third set? What a barn burner that one was, 30-28. We mentioned Palazzolo leading the way, as she has been all season long for Notre Dame, but Gracie Johnson has been tremendous for Duke. Another double-double for the Grad.
Yeah, it's no secret at this time of the season who the horses are, right? Who the money players are, marquee players, and they showcase themselves in those matches and in those moments. So Palazzolo, Johnson, getting it done in that match. As far as Notre Dame going kind of toe-to-toe with Duke, it's similar, Rob, to what we talked about earlier with Coach Shaw and Notre Dame. It's our Coach Shaw in North Carolina. It's really, we competed with some of the top level in our conference for a set and a half, maybe 2 sets. But can we extend that longer? Can we raise our level and be consistent over an entire match? I think both coaches are looking for that today.
You mentioned the schedule. Both teams really have seen some really tough competition lately. For Notre Dame, we mentioned the 4-set loss at Duke on Friday. Last weekend, they suffered a couple of 3-set losses to Louisville and NC State. And for North Carolina, they have been up against some really good competition. With Louisville, Pitt, they had the trip down to Florida against Florida State and Miami last weekend.
Yep. Yeah, they had a pretty tough opening slate.
Oh, what a play there. Nifty move by the setter. Anita Babick with the sneak attack and kill.
And that's one of the first times today, Rob, that we've seen a dump or a tip or a roll score in the front third. And why not? Keep them off balance, show them something you haven't seen yet in the match.
Set point, Zoe Barrett will serve. Carolina trying to close it out. Oh, good recovery there by Tarnoff.
Another bad connection.
Amani Foster will finish it, and Carolina takes the opening game 25-17, hitting. We were going to meet up head-to-head here in Chapel Hill, and he said, Salima texted me earlier this week and was asking me, what's the temperature like at Carmichael Arena? What should I wear?
Hey, that's an important stuff to plan, right? You got to be comfortable when you're coaching.
So there you go. Now you're seeing, after she got some good answers from Coach Shaw, some good insight of how, what temperature it is here inside Carmichael Arena. She's going with the pink blazer. It is a pink out here for North Carolina.
To be fair, Rob, there's a lot of variance in venues. Yeah. Some have air conditioning at a high level, some do not.
Now I'm curious, Coach Carlin, when you were over at UNCG during your coaching, what was your go-to outfit for coaching? Are you a suit guy?
I'd rock the suit on senior night, special occasions, if we had a big alumni event, prior to the match. But I think you want to be comfortable, and it's, about representing the program well. So I liked having the button-up as my go-to. Maybe the sweater vest if it was a little bit later in the season. Got that little chill in the air.
We saw this, especially at the college level during COVID in 2020 at every sport. Most coaches went away from the suits. They were very comfortable, maybe a pullover or a T-shirt sometimes. Are you okay with that? I know some coaches were like, no, you should be looking professional all the time, and some other coaches are always about being comfortable, and hey, during COVID, everything was weird. We could go with the pullover.
Yeah, there's definitely some ebbs and flows to coaching fashion on the sideline. I think you want to represent the program well, no matter what you're doing. That should always be a focus.
Good to see everyone wearing pink for this breast cancer awareness match here at Carolina. Was that touch at the net? It was not, as Thurman sends it long. And Notre Dame will go up 3-2 here in set 2.
A really big swing by Thurman there. Got underneath the ball a little bit too much. So if the ball's above your shoulder or behind your head, you need to take a little bit off to keep it in play. I'm really looking to see what Notre Dame does offensively in this set, Rob, because they had some opportunities in set 1. They had a few miscues, setter hit or miscues that could have been point scoring opportunities. And so, when you're looking at the offense, can we get those connections? And, the more that you're knocking those connections offensively, you're giving easier balls in transition to the Tar Heels, which makes it easier for them to score. So, if they can get swings like they just did there, I think it's going to be a different set for the Irish.
Yeah, how about that kill for Lucy Trump, 6-foot sophomore from Florence, Kentucky.
Continuing that momentum she had from Friday night, the last 2 sets of Friday night. Definitely carrying over into today.
We saw there 6 kills, hitting 750. But she serves it long. We'll give it right back to Carolina, and we're tied again.
Take a little adrenaline there. Now when you just have a big swing for a kill or a stuff block, you know, everything's awesome, and sometimes you get a little bit too much juice behind your serve.
Third service error of this match for Notre Dame. And Meyerhofer serves it out.
Good eye there by Dockery, following it to the line. You know, when you're facing a team that's serving tough, it really puts an onus on communication. You have to track the ball early, talk to your teammates in the serve-receive pattern, make sure you understand who's got seams, follow the ball to the line. You have to be really assertive when you're facing tough serves if you're a passer. Oh, what an up.
Big dig there by Monson to keep it alive for the Irish. Here's Hampton, rejected. Big block for Notre Dame. Tarnoff and Drunick teaming up.
Boy, out-of-system attacking, we talked about it in the first set, is going to be an indicator. And you want to take big rips, but hit that ball a little bit down into the block. You want to go high hands in that situation.
Another service error. That's one of the things of Notre Dame, we saw that in the first set too. Whenever they had a big moment on offense or maybe a big block, and they follow it up with an unforced error.
Yeah, that's just a tough way to be. You know, if you're working hard, you're doing things that you want to in the scouting report coming into the match. Hey guys, we need to do this, we need to do that. And you're checking those boxes, having success. You need to follow it up with consistency in the other parts of the game, right? Right now, with the way this set's neck and neck after losing the first set, Notre Dame really needs to be careful here for these next 5 or 6 points, that they're playing a little more cleanly, giving themselves more margin for error.
And Tar Heels are really picking on Kaylee Dockery right now. She's struggling.
Better ball.
That one's in the net.
I'll go back to it once more, Rob. There's just not a great setter-hitter connection for the Irish right now. That was a better tempo. You're going to get one-on-one if you can connect there, but looked like that set might have been just a tad low. Couldn't get a good swing.
Palazzolo with the swing. Here's Foster.
Couldn't get a ton on that ball. Transition score opportunity. Great up.
Great dig by Meyerhofer. Babick with the swing. They'll try Lang once more. Foster. Oh, it's dug up and over by Munson. Swift. What a great rally here.
Boy, we're seeing that tenacity on defense from the Irish.
Foster. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Was that in? It was. Oh, my goodness. What a play by Hattie Munson.
Oh, my gosh. I think Munson is hitting 1,000 off of her digs for multiple shots. I mean, boy, what a great play. If you're watching this match as a defender at home, it just shows you keep fighting, keep hustling, do everything you can to keep the ball off the floor, and good things will happen.
Now, can Notre Dame capitalize off of that? Can they get something going? Foster rips it right off of Dockery.
And that was a really good shot by Foster because her last 2 shots didn't have great contact, good timing, good extension. You know, saw the line really well. And I love how she's peppering the court. We're seeing a lot of variance in her shot right now, testing different aspects of the Irish defense.
6 kills now for Foster. And she is hitting 600 to lead the way for Carolina. Nolan trying to get involved, but she gets stuffed.
Great read by Charity McDowell in the middle. First, you know, she goes outside, has a stuff block deny. The Tar Heels cover, transition back in the middle, and she recover blocks and lines up perfectly, taking that cross-court shot away. Great recovery technique for the block for Charity.
McDowell, the senior from Indianapolis. Trump.
Boy.
Awkward swing, but it works.
Yeah. At the risk of being a broken record here, we're just not getting quality swings enough for the Irish, whether that be, you know, the tempo of the set not being what they're expecting. It's a little tight, a little bit wide. that's one focus that Notre Dame needs to clean up in this set and moving forward is, can we get more swings out of our offense?
Finding the corner is Amani Foster. Man, it's been Foster versus Trump, 1v1.
And so far, I'd give a slight edge to Foster. You think, I just killed the ball down the line. Now I'm going cross court in that deep 5-6 seam. If she can continue to score in different ways, boy, that really stresses the defense, because now you're kind of chasing your tail, right? You want to take away her favorite shot, but so far she's proven she can score with a multitude of shots.
Amani Foster now with 7 kills, hitting .538 for the Tar Heels. Lucy Trump hitting with 7 kills, hitting .778 to lead the way for the Irish. A good back and forth set 2 here in Carmichael Arena.
Just feel like, Rob, that if we can get some quality swings for the Irish, they had a good pass last time, this time out of system. If we can get some good swings, like even right there, couldn't quite get a swing on the ball, this would be a much different set. The Irish are playing tough defense, they're covering well, they're communicating, they're doing a lot of good things, and there you go. If we get a quality swing on the ball, we just look like a different team.
Ava Lang powering through. It's now 11-10. And how great has it been? A lot of these names that we've been calling on both sides of the net are underclassmen. A lot of freshmen getting a lot of playing time and very talented in this matchup.
And right on cue, Rob.
Rosamani Thurman.
Yeah, when you really look across the league, there's a lot of great young talent, Romani Thurman being one of them, that it bodes well for the future of the league. Not just these individual teams, we're seeing a lot of great young talent across the board in the ACC.
Thurman, a freshman from Little Rock, Arkansas. Trump, the freshman, is rejected. I'll correct myself, Trump's a sophomore, still an underclassman, but Carolina's defense led by the underclassman. Getting another block there, Sophie Hampton.
Boy, great extension by Hampton. First, she did a great job with her feet, timing her block, penetration, extending, landing locked. Great technique there by Hampton to deny the ball. And if you're the Irish, we got a quality swing. You're making North Carolina work, which is what you want to do. That's step number 1. Another good pass here.
Another quality swing like you've been talking about, Corey. Joust at the net. And it's going to belong to Carolina.
Wow, so here's the question. Did the ball break the plane of the net? If the ball was completely on the Irish side, that should have been overcall. But the officials are saying the ball broke the plane, which means it's a back row attack, illegal back row attack by the setter.
Schaffmaster into the net. They make it 14-11. For a second there, I thought, yeah, let's get a good look. Tell me what you see, Corey. Did it break that plane?
I think it did. It was close, but I do think it broke the plane. You know, now what Drew Nick is arguing there was, I went up with one hand, but that doesn't really matter. It matters if the ball broke the plane or not. It looked like it did just there.
Another big block. Sydney Nolan and Sophie Hampton make it 15-11, and we got a timeout on the floor. We'll be back in just a moment here from Chapel Hill. And now the Irish hitting 111 here in game number 2.
Yeah, we've seen flashes, Rob, of better setter-hitter connection, a few more quality swings. They're getting enough good passing out of their serve receive. I'd love to see them get the middles more involved, because when they're setting the pins right now, if you're Notre Dame, you're getting one of two things. You're getting some inconsistent contacts, or North Carolina's kind of stuff blocking you like a Thanksgiving turkey. So, you know, I mean, you look at the overpass right there. The net presence for North Carolina has been pretty dominant in the last 10, 12 points. So Notre Dame needs to mix things up when they get a good pass. I'd love to see a few more opportunities for the middle.
Yeah, Tar Heels have been really making it difficult on the serve receive for Notre Dame. A lot of these passes have been rough, and another block. Swift this time teaming up with Thurman. And it's all Carolina now here in set 2.
Great coaching point coming out of that break, Rob, by Mike Shaw and his staff. If you noticed, that's the first time we've seen short serving so far in the match. And 2 back-to-back short serves, getting Notre Dame a little bit out of system, taking the middles out of play. You know, if you're going to serve short, you're doing it for one of 2 reasons. You want to get the middles out of the offense because they're in the way, or you want to try to get some overpass opportunities, give that serve receive a look they haven't had so far.
Carolina hitting 217 here in set 2, and it's been led by Amani Foster. She's now up to 7 kills in this match, hitting 500 so far, Corey.
Boy, she's really just elevated her game. You think about what you need from that graduate transfer, and you need steady production, okay? You don't need to get 20 kills a match, but you need to be steady. You need to be somebody we can count on in big moments to take good swings. Okay? Even if you don't score, you get them out of system. And we're just seeing her play with a little bit of swagger. She's bringing that energy to her team that, hey, I can score if need be. I can take a great swing if need be. I'll weather the storm if Notre Dame presents anything that's challenging. Give me the ball and I'll produce.
Again, with no Mabry Schaffmaster on Friday because of injury, it was Foster leading the Tar Heels with 16 kills. And all season long, we've been talking about the graduate from Charlotte and what she did last year as a 49er, 7th best in the country at just under 5 kills per set. She brings that talent here,
pretty impressive,
into Chapel Hill for her graduate transfer year. She's been a key role for Coach Shaw and the Tar Heels in 2023. Another mistake there by the Irish. And it's coming off of these serves by North Carolina.
Just great yo-yoing, kind of that cat and mouse game within the game. The last 2 serves were short. Now we go back to the deep third aggressive ball. Keep them guessing.
7 aces now for Carolina. Hampton. Dug up by Lang. Trump put it into the net. And you've been saying it, not to beat a dead horse or anything, Corey, but man, the passes, the sets are just not there for Notre Dame, and they're unable to get some big full swings. Not much Trump could do there, and now another ace. That's number 8 in this match for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, the service pressure has just been tremendous by North Carolina, keeping the Irish guessing. We talked about the short serve having effect, and now the deep third, and that ball was kind of the middle third. You know, just great serving right now by Carolina. But, you know, there's the connection in the middle we've been looking for. I think of Notre Dame, they've gotten a little bit one-dimensional with their offense, setting the pins a little bit, really going to Trump. She was hot early. I think Carolina's keying on her a little bit. Now she's back to serve. But what can Notre Dame do in these next couple of rotations that looks a little different? And I think a key thing to try would be, let's get our middles going when we have opportunities.
Free ball, that goes off of Schaffmaster's head for the kill.
Laughing it off, so none the worse for wear.
Wonder if it knocked any pink dye out of that hair. My goodness.
About to check the ball.
Swift dug up, free ball.
Stick with it, stick with it.
Thurman with the push. Here's Palazzolo for the kill.
Wow, Rob, and that's something we haven't seen for a long time from the Irish, is a transition kill. It's because of that work that they need to have. You got to transition, work on your back pedal, get behind the ball, see it and go get it. You know, the net presence, the serving right now, starting to go a little bit Notre Dame's way. Should be a free ball, point scoring opportunity.
Schaffmaster can't get it over. Back-to-back points for Notre Dame now, and that'll make it 20-15.
And credit the Irish, having that little bit of energy, a little juice of swag the last few points. You need that to not only get back in the set, but to set a tone going into set 3. Another free ball.
Babbitt with the dig. Thurman got it.
Even though North Carolina won that point, you saw just better volleyball from both sides. You know, Thurman is just the ultimate finisher. That ball's a little bit underset, out of system, but just such great range. She can hit all the shots. Great cross-court technique there. Really impressed with the freshman.
Been a key role here today and all season long for Carolina. Hampton, the freshman. Palazzolo finds the floor.
Well, she got a little lucky there, Rob. Mistimed her jump. She's kind of smiling about it. You know, we'll take it when it works in our favor. At the last 4 or 5 points, we've seen better play from the Irish. We're getting more quality swings. We're playing great defense. We're stressing North Carolina a little bit more when maybe they took the foot off their gas after that big lead.
They were really hounding in on Schaffmaster on the serves. She was able to control that one. Lang with the swing. Swift cranked it far left.
Boy, great look, just a little bit wide. You know, that's why you want to drive in transition to your middle. That cutback shot to right back is usually going to score. Just missed a little wide.
An ace. They are really targeting Mabry Schaffmaster. Notre Dame is back in this. It's a 3-point ball game, and that's going to force Mike Shull to take a timeout.
You're just not seeing great movement by Schaffmaster the last few points. You just wonder how she's limited, but you know, key credit Irish for going after Notre Dame is really putting pressure on her and testing her movement and seeing how well she can adapt to some of these different serves.
21-18, Lucy Trump, the sophomore from Florence, Kentucky, has made a difference here for the Irish.
Well, you just see great tenacity at the net. She's playing with a sense of urgency, and she's varying her shot. She can score in different ways. And one thing I really love about what she's doing, Rob, is she's gotten blocked. Right? She's gotten blocked a few times, but it hasn't deterred her from being assertive. You haven't seen her try to get tentative or, you know, let that get in her head. She just refocuses, sees the block, and hits a better shot, peppering the court. So her next shot mentality is really at a high level right now.
That's something that Coach Rockwell mentioned to us when we talked with her earlier today about how she relays that message to her players of how tough are you? If you get blocked, what's your mentality? Are you thinking, bring it back to me again, let me try again, or are you thinking, oh gosh, I'm off? Right. And Lucy Trump is one of those players for Coach Rockwell. Like you said, she got blocked early. Shake it off. Go back to me once more. And she's been showing her true talents here on the offensive side.
100%. And, you know, any competitive sport, you need to have a short memory until the final whistle. And volleyball is accentuated even more because the speed of the sport. Points are scored so fast in volleyball, particularly at this level. You're talking about Power 5, ACC volleyball. You need to have a short memory. You need to take inventory of how you can be better, right? Maybe make some adjustments, but you have to stay assertive. That's what great players do, and we're seeing it.
Miscommunication there by Schaffmaster and Hampton. It was 20-11. It's now 21-19. Hampton ends that run for Notre Dame.
We just talked about next shot mentality, and you love players that regardless of what's happening with the team, if there's a slide and score, individual players carry that mentality that they want the ball and they're going to score, and she definitely has that mentality.
Well, too much mustard on that one. She serves it long. We saw that from Notre Dame earlier. Big kill and then immediately followed by a service error. A little too much adrenaline there possibly for Sophie Hampton.
Yeah, she's upset with herself. You can see it. I think she's going to be really honed in and focused these next couple points to make up for it.
From the back row, off the block attempt. Carolina keeps it alive, and tooling the blockers is Amani Foster. What a sequence there.
Great way to stick with the ball out of the net for the Tar Heels, giving Foster another opportunity. We see the blocker have to kind of quickly shuffle over. If you're off balance like that as a blocker jumping out, you're not as strong with your hands. Heads up play by Amani Foster to tool the block there.
Carolina trying to close this out, 23-20. They took the first set, 25-17. My goodness, look out! Hampton comes flying in.
And I just wonder about that shot selection by Lang. The short tip has not really scored against Carolina, and so if you're going to go for that shot, you better hit it really, really well within the front 3 or 4 feet to the net, because otherwise, I think you're fueling the beast here for Carolina to transition swing and score like they did there.
Timeout Notre Dame. Let's get another look at Sophie Hampton for the back row. Splitting the defenders for the kill.
You think that made up for that service error? Keep setting me the ball. I can score.
Sometimes when people watch collegiate volleyball, they tend to forget, or they might not realize how high these girls jump, how fast they're hitting the ball.
Yep.
And I think a great example of that from Friday's match against Louisville, I think it was Romani Thurman. There's a picture on the Carolina Instagram account where Romani Thurman is from the back row, just comes flying in, looking like Michael Jordan, tongue out, arm up.
Yep.
Ironically enough, wearing 23 when she did it.
Yep.
But I mean, she was at least 5 feet off the ground, and it was whoever took that picture, credit to them, because it was an amazing photo. But it sometimes goes to remind people that how high they're jumping, how fast they're hitting the ball. Like, this is an intense sport.
100%. These are dynamic athletes. If you haven't been following women's volleyball for the last decade or even longer, last 15 years, I'd say, the dynamicism of the athletes involved has just really gotten to an all-time high. These are dynamic athletes that are playing very high above the net. They're strong. They're hitting with pace. It's not the same game it was 15, 20 years ago, and we're seeing that today.
Carolina trying to close it out. Somehow they get it over there. Here's Lang.
A great defense by the Tar Heels.
With power to end it, Amani Foster bringing the boom, and Carolina able to close out set 2. Notre Dame did not make it easy, but the Tar Heels finish it 25-20 to take a due to injury. She's been in and out of the rotation here today. No kills. She's actually hitting below 500. But you mentioned Foster and Thurman and Hampton filling that gap with Schaffmaster out on the sidelines. They've been doing a great job to lead the way for Carolina through the first 2 sets. Set 3, it started with a point for the Irish as it ricochets off a couple of Tar Heels.
You're already seeing just a different energy from Notre Dame to start set 3. I think that there was some really good communication there at halftime about we need to pump some energy, some swag in this thing to get back into the match.
Free ball kill for Notre Dame as they get the first 2 points. And we've seen both teams kind of been off and on, very inconsistent with the receiving game. Notre Dame struggled a lot. Now we're seeing North Carolina through these first 2 points having some trouble controlling the serve.
Wow, great shot by Lang.
Freshman from California.
And this is exactly what Notre Dame wants to do. We talked about quality swings, how we were missing some of that in the first set, set and a half. Then in that middle part of set 2, Rob, we saw the offense for Notre Dame start to get some traction. And if you can start to get traction offensively, back that up with great tenacity on defense, now you've got a good rhythm overall. You just got to manage some of those bad unforced errors. You're going to have some unforced errors. You just don't want to have them in bunches. And if Notre Dame can continue that setter-hitter connection on offense, that great defensive tenacity we've seen, and limit a few errors, I think they could extend this match. Big net.
Someone was in the net. It was Carolina in the net.
Walker hit it on the way up. Pretty obvious call here.
That was Swift, yeah.
Swift, got it, yeah.
And she tried to come up for the block. 4-1 start for Notre Dame. And a kill. Romani Thurman picking up where she left off in set 2.
And, you know, that's such a good blocking move for Notre Dame. They had a positive touch. They just couldn't really get it up in the back court. That's what you want your blockers to do, but great attacking will beat great blocking. You know, we just saw that sliver margin for error right there.
A service error there by Maria Miggins, 6-foot graduate. Make it 5-2.
Yep, former teammate of Sydney Palazzolo. Great deny block by the Irish. Can they do it again?
And they do. 5th block for the Irish.
These are the rotations, Rob, where it's going to favor Notre Dame because who's not out there? Romani Thurman is now on the bench, and so I think Notre Dame can get on a run.
Timeout taken by Carolina. Notre Dame leads at 6-2 in set 3. Shaw taking an early timeout in set 3 as Notre Dame has rattled off a 6-2 start, trying to avoid the sweep here on this Sunday afternoon. Carolina took the first set 25-17. They were able to close out set 2 25-20.
Well, you hate to see that. You got all the momentum, force a timeout. You want an aggressive serve, a little more margin for error. How does Notre Dame respond in this moment with the lead on the road? You're down 0-2.
That's a good way to respond.
There you go.
Lauren Tarnoff ripping it.
And when you drive in like that as a middle, especially when you haven't been set that much to this point in the match, maybe the opposing middle blocker is a little bit relaxed against you. Maybe they're not ready to go up and block that first tempo. Keep feeding the middle now and keep that balance.
A little too much there from Amani Foster.
What a rare miss by Foster this afternoon.
I'll bring down her hit percentage. That's her first error of the day. Hit percentage still right around 500.
Wow.
And missed it again. No.
Touch off the block, looks like.
R2 calling it a touch at the net.
Let's see if we can get a good look at it here.
Maybe a fingertip there from Drunick.
Tough to see from that angle. It wasn't obvious, but we don't see a challenge from Coach Rockwell, so apparently she saw enough not to challenge. Boy, how impressive is Palazzolo, you know, going against a solid double block in that rotation. You've got a front row setter. The middle's going behind on the slide, but the middle blocker for Carolina doesn't bite. She just goes out. You got a solid double, and you still score. Very impressive stuff from number 12.
9 kills now for Palazzolo. And North Carolina is having some troubles.
Yeah, you're just seeing
servers.
That momentum shift a little bit here. It's Notre Dame, right, Rob? It's, you know, you can be up 2-0 and be in the catbird seat, and if you don't keep your foot on the gas and come out assertive in set 3, you know, you leave the door cracked open a little bit. So it's going to be a challenge for Carolina to get a little bit of swag back here in the next few points.
Tar Heels had 8 service aces through the first 2 sets. It's now Notre Dame starting to put on a little clinic here. That's their 4th ace of this match. And their largest lead of the entire day, up 11-4. Schaffmaster, who has checked in with the swing. Ava Lang buries it.
Well, you're just seeing a different Irish team than we saw in the first 2 sets. Even in that mini run in set 2 where they kept it close, it's just a different swagger, a different energy. They're firing on all cylinders right now.
Foster finally finds the corner and the correct side of the line. That's her 3rd attempt in this set trying to get that corner. The first 2 went long. That one's in.
Well, and if you're Monson, I think maybe taking a step back or 2 on defense when you face Foster cross court. She's hitting perimeter shots. The last 2 went long. That one in by a couple of inches to the baseline, it's kind of going over your head. So I'd love to see Monson make that adjustment defensively and play a little bit deeper when she's in the cross court against Foster.
Digs are about even between these two teams. Kills are about even. Hit percentage is nearly even. Free ball kill. Charity McDowell, the senior from Indianapolis, Indiana, put it down, and Notre Dame leads 14-5. And Coach Scholl is going to take his second timeout of this third set.
Well, you think about what's happening here. They're targeting Foster in serve receive. The last 4 or 5 serves has gone her way, so that's obviously something that the Irish are doing coming out of the break, is let's really focus our service pressure her way, and it's bearing fruit. They're making them one-dimensional, and it's fueling the defense for Notre Dame so they can get transition swings. I still would love to see them keep their middle involved and have that balance.
Speaking of balance, Sydney Palazzolo, 9 kills, 6 digs, 4 serving aces. She's done it all here today for Notre Dame.
She has definitely got it done multiple ways, which we knew coming in that she had that capability, but she sees the court so well. If you dig her or block her a certain way, she's going to make an adjustment and make you make defensive adjustments. It's that great cat and mouse, but the experience she brings and all of her skills, truly impressive.
6'3" junior from Shelby Township, Michigan. Transfers to Notre Dame from High Point University, and you look at some of the accomplishments she had at High Point. Not very surprising with the talent that she has.
Sure. Yeah, when you play at that mid-major level and you're a conference player of the year, you're tournament MVP, you can play at that next level. And playing in the ACC, obviously she wasn't afraid of the bright light. She brought her skill set with her. We're seeing that bear fruit. And you just love the confidence that she plays with and the consistency night in and night out that she brings for Notre Dame. And it really helps the younger players look at her in that role and see that consistency as something to build on.
So Carolina's out of timeouts here in set 3. They trail 14-5, now 14-6 on another service error for Notre Dame. If you pick one thing that has not gone the way that Coach Rockwell would want, it'd probably be the serving game. It's been very inconsistent.
Well, and it's where those errors are coming. The last 2 service errors have come after timeouts, and that's something that you don't want to see. You know, there's definitely some moments in the game of volleyball where you do not want to miss your serve. You do not want to miss your serve on match point. You do not want to miss your serve when you're coming out of an opponent's timeout especially. And you don't want to miss your serve when you're giving up, you know, the 2 or 3 teammates you had before you missed their serves. You don't want to have consecutive service errors as a team. And so I'm sure that that's something they're going to focus on when they go back and watch this match.
Notre Dame with a big block. It was Nicole Drunick going one-on-one at the net. And you see the big smile on her face.
Anytime setters get one-on-one stuff blocks, I think it just pumps energy into the whole team. What a serve.
May had to dive forward for that one. That one hit the antenna. Attacking error there for Romani Thurman. Make it 16-7.
What a key moment for this Carolina team, because now you're being stressed. Now you're having some pressure applied back on you that you didn't see in the first 2 sets. How do you respond in the now? Can you get back in rhythm? Can you get back into, you know, that catbird seat you were in sets 1 and 2 by raising your level of play? So this will be key for the Tar Heels, what they do the next 8 to 10 points. Even if they lose this set, Rob, can they establish a little rhythm and some momentum going into set 4?
You see the hit percentage below 0 for Carolina, and you saw the expression on Coach Scholl's face. Yep, not too pleased with what is happening here with his Tar Heels. Schaffmaster will try to get things going. Her first kill of the day.
Yeah, the last 2 rotations have been her first of the afternoon playing front row. So, you know, can she continue to be effective and kind of weather this storm and chip away at this lead?
Good dig by May. Whistles blow, though, and Carolina was in the net.
Yeah. I really love what the Irish are doing here, Rob. They're They're more balanced offensively. You see them getting their middles a little bit more involved. Combine that with the service pressure, and they're showing Carolina something Carolina hasn't seen in the last 2 sets.
Yeah, Tar Heels definitely seem all out of sorts. Shaftmaster rejected. My goodness. Lucy Trump and Charity McDowell.
Boy, what a great block. And those are momentum plays. You look at the footwork, the press, going up together. There's really no room for Shaftmaster. If you get a stop block at this moment in the set with the score it is, it's a 2 or 3 point, swing.
Carolina with a response, putting up the wall.
If you're Notre Dame, okay, you're going to get blocked sometimes. Tip your cap to Carolina there, but stay aggressive. You have a big lead. You got that lead because you were assertive. Trust your coverage. Stay assertive right here if you're Notre Dame.
Meyerhofer checks in to serve. Carolina still trailing by 10 here in set 3 as Notre Dame trying to avoid the sweep.
Good serve. Tight set.
And through. Palazzolo with another one. That's kill number 10 on the afternoon.
How impressive is Palazzolo and just the ways that she's scoring. We've seen out of the back row, we've seen in system, out of system, tight sets that are off the net. She just has such great vision. Boy, another service error after a momentum play for Notre Dame. Regardless what happens the rest of this match, that's got to be a talking point with Coach Rockwell and her team of an area they can clean up.
High top serve from Shaftmaster.
Great pass.
And it just missed the line, wide left.
Boy, they're wondering if they should challenge here. Coach Rockwell looking at her team. They have a better vantage point. It was far sideline. Notre Dame's got to be a little careful here that they don't have too many unforced errors.
And ace for Shaftmaster, starting to heat up. Again, coming back from the injury, did not start, has been in and out of the rotation through the first 2 sets. We're starting to sense her warming up a little bit here in set 3.
Boy, and if she can get into a rhythm from the service line or attacking, it's going to make things tougher for the Irish. And, if you're Notre Dame, you really need to hone in when she's serving. She leads the team in aces for a reason, and it's a tough ball, right? So you have to be on your toes, track the ball all the way to your platform, and really defend it.
That's her second ace of the day for Mabry Shaftmaster. You mentioned she was one of the top servers for not just North Carolina, but one of the top in the conference. Palazzolo there in 3rd, but Shaftmaster again coming into today with 17, now up to 19 on the season.
Now when those 2 women are serving and you're in serve receive, obviously you look at that in the scouting report, you're aware of it, and you see it on film. But seeing it live is a different story. And now that both teams have seen these great servers, come at them, they need to make those little adjustments, and someone on the bench needs to be tracking what's their tendency. When Shaftmaster is serving, is she going at a certain player? Can we pick up on that, or a certain zone? And likewise for Palazzolo. And so those are those little nuances within the game you want to track to give yourself a leg up in anticipating what's probably coming. The last couple of serves from Shaftmaster have gone at Palazzolo. So I would assume that she would go right back at her again, but we'll see who she targets on this serve.
20-12, Notre Dame still in control, but you're starting to sense maybe a little momentum shift, depending on what Shaftmaster can do on this serving run. Palazzolo.
Didn't get everything on that ball, hit on the way down a little bit.
Palazzolo again, was it touched? No, hang on, they're gonna call Carolina in the net.
Wow. Boy, fortunate for Notre Dame to get that point. Palazzolo going for the high hands. We'll see if we can, smart shot attempt by Palazzolo. I'm sure she'll make that a little cleaner the next time around.
Foster across court Dug up by Munson.
Great adjustment by Munson, playing defense a little bit deeper. We talked about that.
Palazzolo. Schaffmaster gets it back in play.
Point scoring opportunity for the Irish.
Trying to go across court off the block attempt. Here's Palazzolo once more. And she finds the floor.
Oh my. Boy, the craftiness of Palazzolo.
Corey, you've been saying it all match long. The ways that she scores, ripping it down the line, going rainbow shot, aces, block. I mean, she does it all for Notre Dame.
Such variety in her toolkit as an attacker, and she pulls out her shots at the appropriate time. You know, the longer the rally goes, you're going to see different shots from her, which makes her so tough to defend.
Swift put it into the net, and Notre Dame 2 points away from taking this third set. Got out to a strong start. It was 14-5. They lead 23-12 after North Carolina took the first 2 games. Trying to go down the line was Foster. She's asking for a tip. Not going to get the call. Point to Notre Dame and set point for the Irish.
Yeah, you're seeing North Carolina, they're pressing a little bit the last 6-7 points. I think they're trying to end the point early, try to end it emphatically to stop this run. And, you know, you just need to really work for a rhythm, especially as you're staring down going into set 4. Again, great adjustment by Munson, playing a little deeper on defense against Foster. Now she's in better digging position.
Foster rejected. The Irish end it with another block. Their 8th block of the match.
Pumping that swag, getting that energy back into it. They look like a different team in set 3 than we saw in the first 2 sets. So let's see if they can continue it here.
Yeah, how does Carolina respond? That's going to be the big question here in set 4, because that's kind of been a theme that Coach Mike Shaw has mentioned to us numerous times here in 2023, is because of how young of a team Carolina is. And we saw it against Louisville. Right? They came out strong, won the first set, battled in set 2, but couldn't finish those final few points. Set 3, same thing, was tied at 20, but they couldn't finish it. And Coach Shaw said that is something we're still working on, is we play good volleyball, but not for an entire set. We need to find a way to be able to finish out some of these games or finish out some of these matches.
That's definitely a point of growth that every team goes through when you have some younger starters that are getting serious minutes. When things are going well, it's easy, right? What do you do? How do you respond when another team is assertive against you? They put pressure on you. Or in this situation, you know, you're up 2 sets to none. You feel like you've got it in hand, so to speak, and then the other team raises their level. What do we do now? What's our next gear, and what can we do to get to that next gear? So this is a learning moment for the Tar Heels, and see if they can come back.
Palazzolo powering through.
Boy, she's just so impressive, Rob. You know, I thought the block for the Tar Heels was set up really well. That was an out-of-system situation where the defense knew where the ball was going, and they still couldn't stop her, and that's just tough. You know, for North Carolina, how do they get back in it? They need to keep up with their service pressure and do the little things. We need to communicate well. We need to get quality swings. We need to cover. You know, we need to work hard in those little areas and try to chip back into some momentum plays.
Thurman, too much.
This is, I think, where Coach Shaw needs to impress upon his younger team. You know, we're starting to wobble a little bit with the unforced errors. We're starting to see just a few too many unforced errors here. We don't have to play perfect. We don't have to score on the first swing. Let's pepper the court a little bit. Let's test the defense. Let's not be afraid to get into a rally with Notre Dame and trust that we can be better with our touches throughout the rally. I think that's a coaching point here with this young team, because right now, you know, they've been scoring, and you can see one right there. But you just got to manage those unforced errors in short spans.
Thurman with the kill, tooling the blockers right there.
Great job of mixing up her shot. You know, she tried to go seam last time, went outside hand, tooling the line. Great adjustment by Thurman.
There's Hampton with the kill.
Boy, what you love about Hampton is she just has that swag of that, give me the ball no matter what happened in the last point. We might be up or down the score, but she stays the same in her assertiveness, and I love that from the freshman.
He was very quiet in set 3. She's now up to 4 kills on the match, but another service error. And really, Corey, if you ask me, that has been the big talking point for both teams, really, throughout this match. You see the serve error numbers. Compare that to the serving aces. It was North Carolina dominating in the first 2 sets. Notre Dame goes on a run with serving aces in set 3. And another service error. It's just been very inconsistent for both teams here today.
Right. If you're going to serve tough, you know you're going to have some errors. That comes with the territory. So if you're going to ask your servers to be tough from the service line, as a coach, as a teammate, as a program, you have to understand we're going to absorb a few service errors. Now, you want those to be what we call good errors, not bad errors. Are we going top of the tape, or is it just maybe a foot out of bounds? Are we close on those serves? And then the other part is we can't have service errors in bunches, right? So if we serve 5 or 6 balls, we can't have 3 or 4 of them be errors. So you need to manage that. But yeah, you're right. Both teams have wavered a little bit. They've looked solid at times, and then they've looked a little out of sorts at times.
The blocking game has been strong for both sides. As the Irish there are able to power through the block attempt of North Carolina.
A little bit of a tight set there for Tarnoff, and she does a really good job of just wiping the ball off the hands. It's a smart shot when you're set tight to the net.
7-6, Notre Dame leads it. Joust at the net, and give the point to the Irish, Nicole Drunick.
Boy, I just love how Babick is challenging those balls. You know, if you're a setter watching this at home, challenge those overpasses, those overdigs. Try to save a kill from happening against your team. And a lot of times you'll get some stuff blocks. You'll pad your blocking stats. Just love seeing a setter go up and challenge that ball.
Another serve into the net for Notre Dame. 8-7 here in set 4. Lang,
wow,
soft roll, and finds the open territory.
Those are ones you don't want to see. You know, it's great shot by Lang. At the same time, let's keep our posture. Let's really pursue that ball. If they're going to score, let's make it a great shot that they score on. I don't think that was one that would qualify as a great shot, but it was effective. Great dig.
Foster put it into the net.
Yeah, it just seemed a little bit impatient by Foster right there. I think she just wanted to kill, and she wasn't in a position necessarily, being about 7-8 feet off the net, to really score right away. That's when you want to take maybe a little bit off, but hit the ball in play, maybe high off the hands, and give your coverage a chance.
Hampton rejected. My goodness. Another block for Notre Dame as you get another look at it.
But what you're seeing here, Rod, the last 3 or 4 swings from Carolina have been assertive, right? They've gone after it, but the defense for the Irish has been there. Whether a great block touch, a stuff block, a deny, some great defensive plays in the backcourt, they're really getting it done defensively.
10th block for Notre Dame. Timeout, North Carolina. Dame in front here in set 4. Rod Connick, Corey Carlin back with you here in Chapel Hill. Got a good one here in the ACC. Both teams trying to get back into the win column here this afternoon. Tar Heels took the first 2 sets. Notre Dame dominated set 3, and they are in control here in set 4.
And you think of what got them in control, it was cleaner play, great service pressure, and better offense. Now, their defense was always kind of steady for the first 2 sets. They just couldn't counterpunch. They couldn't get that transition swing to go down. And, now they're putting the pressure on Carolina. We'll see how they respond.
Schaafmaster rejected. Another block for the Irish. McDowell in there once again. That is block number 11 for Notre Dame.
And Carolina has been fairly predictable the last 8 or 10 points, serving or passing out of system a little bit and getting everything to either the back row or the left pin. So if you're Babic, if you're the setter for the Tar Heels, can we mix it up? Can we run a quick middle at you, maybe a 1-foot takeoff in front, or the slide behind a Swift right here? Just something where the defense can't key on Hampton and Schaafmaster.
And again, Notre Dame follows up a good point with another service error. That is now number 10 for the Irish.
Well, and I'll go back to that point, Rob, that at this point in the match right now, Notre Dame doesn't need to serve extremely tough because the offense for Carolina is fairly predictable the last 8 or 10 points. They're just going with their pin hitters. So, if you serve really tough and get them out of system, they're going to set those same folks anyway. So let's focus on keeping some serves in play. Yeah. Let's hit our targets and play great defense. We don't need to give Carolina any freebies at this point.
They might be struggling serving, but their offense over the last set and a half have really found their form. Yeah, we'll have a replay. I don't think the referee was ready for that serve.
Brunick just wanted play to get going, kind of jumped the gun a bit. We call that enthusiastic.
15-8. From the back row, putting it into the net was Sophie Hampton.
Carolina really needs to diversify their offense at this point. Hampton has been successful. We know that Schaafmaster, when she's 100%, she can score kind of at will. But the defense for Notre Dame is keying in on the pin hitters because that's who we've been going to. And you're not stressing the Notre Dame defense enough because you're kind of setting the same folks over and over.
Schaafmaster blocked again. So Carolina hit below 0 in set 3. Here in the 4th game, they are hitting negative 353, now negative 412 after that last one from Schaafmaster.
We've had a change at setter for the Tar Heels.
Miggins now in. She sets it up. Schaafmaster trying to go across court. Palazzolo rejected. Kyle Merkler, who has checked in with the solo block.
Great read there, and that's what Carolina needed. They needed something to go their way. They needed a momentum play. A solo stuff block will give that to your team. Now we just got to play clean for a couple points and battle.
Big swing on the line. Romani Thurman getting things going for Carolina.
Boy, how about the serve from Miggins coming in off the bench, a little cold. She serves up a ball that they overpass right away. Getting it done.
May with the dig. Miggins sets it up. Merkler with the send over.
Still up.
Miggins gets it back in play. May gets it over. Wide right point Tar Heels.
And that goes to show you, Rob, that if you just hustle, if you just have that tenacity that you're going to keep playing, you can force a few errors from your opponent, and that's what we saw there. So Notre Dame needs to really match the intensity coming out of this timeout.
17-11, Notre Dame still in the lead, but the momentum starting to shift. And how about this hustle play by Maria Miggins into her own bench to keep that alive?
I just love what we're seeing because it's a different energy for Carolina. You know, anytime your offense is struggling, you're hitting negative for a good bit, right? For more than 2/3 of a set, then usually coaches will switch the setter. It's time for a different quarterback, right? Because the team isn't hitting very well.
Yeah.
And so let's change up who's distributing the ball. But I've really been impressed in this short sample size with Miggins because she set the middle. She's served tough. You know, she's hustled on defense. She's bringing a little bit different energy right now that's sparking this mini run for Carolina.
Coming into today, Maria Miggins, the graduate, just 23 sets played, 100 assists. And that's that we've been talking about the great variety of attackers for North Carolina, not just Schaffmaster, but Foster and Hampton and Thurman. You got to remember, at the start of this season, Anita Babick was injured. And so Coach Scholl had to go with Zoe Barrett for a little bit. Miggins got some play as well.
Good point.
And so not the first time we've seen Miggins. It's been a while. But to have a player like her, to have a graduate, again, you look at the roster breakdown for North Carolina, a lot of underclassmen, but to have someone like Maria Miggins and that senior or graduate fifth-year leadership in a time like this where nothing is working offensively for you, plug her in, and already you're seeing the difference in the last 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, the fact that she played early and that she's a graduate player, you know that she's had a ton of reps, and she's had reps that you can rely on and have confidence. So, you know, the offense so far isn't missing a beat. Wow.
Sneak attack for Miggins.
Boy, she is just playing with a little swagger right now, and you love to see that. Smart heads-up play. It's been a while since we've seen a setter dump from the Tar Heels. Caught Notre Dame on their heels a little bit defensively. See how long they can extend this run.
And she puts it into the net. Another service error. That's kind of been a theme for both teams.
You know, if you're Carolina, you've worked to get kind of back in the set. You're within striking distance. 6 points in the middle part of the set is not insurmountable. You just need to put together 2-3 points in little bunches and take advantage of any opportunities that Notre Dame's going to give you, like that right there.
Notre Dame now with 11 service errors compared to North Carolina's 7. 5-point game here in set 4. Notre Dame trying to send this to a 5th set. Service error for Schaffmaster.
You really get the sense, Rob, at this point that the team that's going to wind up winning this match is likely going to be the one that keeps their serve and play more, or has the fewest service errors down the stretch. Scoring opportunity here for Notre Dame. Great
Off the
deny
block attempt. Great job by Manitzis.
Yep.
Touched by Carolina at the net. Point to Notre Dame.
Yep, the R2, the down official, saw that right away, indicated right away that she saw the touch. Yep, you know, the outside arm of Thurman. Again, just a great shot by Palazzolo. She sees the block so well.
Wow. Oh my goodness!
Oh my.
The dig leads to the point. Nicole Drunick makes it 21-13. That goes to show how much power was on that swing from Thurman.
Boy, if you're an attacker like Thurman in that moment, you just have a great rip. You feel like, man, I just buried the ball the best I can, and the ball just over-digs and falls on your side. It can be deflating. You know, that's part of volleyball. Those plays are going to happen once in a while. Sometimes the timing of it doesn't favor your team, you know. Obviously, Drunick is all smiles now. She's hitting 1,000, technically. So, you know, that's awesome for Notre Dame. But, you know, if you're Carolina, you just have to keep swinging. That didn't go your way, kind of a fluke play there. But, you know, let's get the ball to Thurman. She's been scoring. Maybe if we can move her around a little bit, maybe bring her into the middle or present something different for these next few points, because, you know, if these teams stay stagnant in what they're doing offensively, I don't think that that's going to bode well for either one of them. But right now, Notre Dame has a little bit of an edge in that department because they're a little bit more balanced. I'd love to see Carolina be a little more balanced than they have been with Miggins coming in. You know, she set Merkler and getting the middles involved a little bit more. I think they need to do that toward the end of this set and even going into set 5. That can tip the scales back to Carolina if they can just not be as one-dimensional offensively.
An 8-point advantage for Notre Dame here in set 4. If you're just joining us, North Carolina took the first set 25-17. And then the second set, 25-20. Notre Dame avoids the sweep by dominating set 3, 25-12. They held the Tar Heels to a hit percentage below 0. That's the same instance here in set 4, as North Carolina is hitting negative 200 here in the 4th game. Can the Irish send this to a 5th and final game?
Wow.
Dug up by May. Schaffmaster with the roll. Another dig over. Oh my goodness, what an effort. Notre Dame. Everything going their way.
And Rob, we talked about at the top, Coach Rockwell's emphasis in practice all week has been that tenacity on defense and getting after it, you know, seeing that grit, if you will. And boy, have we seen that in the last set and a half from the Irish. And it's paying dividends. The longer you can extend rallies, the more good things are going to happen.
That one's down, fell off the shoe. Sophie Hampton, at this point, they'll get a kill any way possible.
Well, and that was the first time we didn't see a solid double block on the outside, and Sophie Hampton took advantage. So credit her for seeing that little sliver of the line shot in the block. Carolina's got some work to do now.
May with a great dig.
Yeah, just seeing a little bit of press there. This is, again, a learning moment for these young players where you're facing some adversity. You were up 2-0. Notre Dame has raised their level. You don't have to play perfect, but you can't have a lot of unforced errors. And so can we keep the ball in the court and trust our coverage?
That one's touched. Kill for Hampton.
And if you're Miggins, you're having a little bit of inconsistency with your pin attackers, right? We're seeing some good swings, some kills. We're also seeing some errors. Can we get the middles involved a little bit more? Hampton has raised her level the last couple of swings, so we know she's there, but can we get Swift involved here?
What a rip. Palazzolo with her 15th kill of the day.
So impressive. And you talk about having to get a run if you're Carolina. That's really difficult when you've got Palazzolo in the front row. She can score in the back row too, but when she's in the front row, it's tough to manufacture runs.
Swift.
Yep, love seeing that. Love seeing a little versatility here at the end of this set, because I believe, Rob, Carolina's going to need that balance, that better balance offensively in set 5.
Carson Overbeck will check in to serve for the Heels. Still set point for Notre Dame, 24-16. The Irish are a completely different team than what we saw in the first 2 sets. As that one goes long, and fittingly, set 4 ends on a service error. Notre Dame takes it 25-6 today. It's a much-needed win. And whoever comes out on top here in set 5, it's going to be a very well-deserving victory.
Yeah, both teams can take some learning moments from this, but both teams want the win. They need the W if you want to try to keep pace with the middle of the pack in the ACC. You know, if you fall to 1-5 or 2-4 with the schedule coming up for both these teams, it's a tough road to hoe. So this isn't a very important match for both squads.
Romani Thurman, who has been quiet in the last couple of sets, trying to get things going once again. That's kill number 10 on the day.
Well, and I'd be interested to see what Carolina does offensively the next few rotations, because now Thurman's on the back. She's out. She rotated out of play. You've got a front row setter. Babbitt's back in there. Can we have a little bit of balance with Swift, with our middles, or are we going to feature Foster again, which I think feeds into the defense of Notre Dame? You know, the graphic we showed a little while ago with the stats, Notre Dame won the last 2 sets, and you look at, they were out digging and out blocking Carolina, and I think that was a huge factor.
Schaffmaster with a much-needed kill there. That's her second of the day.
Well, she had a little more pep in her step than we've seen so far, and that was her first big rip out of the back row, and very timely, because Carolina needs more of that.
Again, she missed Friday's match against Louisville because of an injury, did not start today, but has been in and out of the rotation. Here she is once more.
Great block touch.
Palazzolo to May. Schaffmaster with the roll.
Tight set. Great job by Trump to keep it out of the net. Boy, what a rally.
And it ends with a Palazzolo kill. Her 16th.
Boy, and that set from Drunick had a little spin on it there, Rob, and I think Coach Shaw was kind of looking at the up official, you know, are we gonna let that go? And of course play went on, so that sent you the benchmark for the kind of, you know, if they're gonna call a double or not in set 5. But how about the hustle of the Irish?
They've been turning up the notch on defense ever since the end of that second set. And it has led to a lot of great offense. Another kill for Palazzolo. She's taken over here in set 5.
Here's something that Carolina has to focus on with Palazzolo in the front row for a couple more rotations. She's just going at the block, right? She's tooled the block the last couple of swings. She's daring them to block her. So the blockers for Carolina have to do a little better job of pressing together and being more disciplined, knowing that Palazzolo is going to come at their hands.
Schaffmaster with the response. We're talking about the top 2 players in the ACC when it comes to kills per set. Palazzolo versus Schaffmaster.
We're seeing a great toe-to-toe right now, both players in the front row.
Quick swing there from Tarnoff.
I'd love to see something a little more aggressive there from Foster.
Palazzolo with another rip.
Yeah. At this point in the match, if you're going to tip the ball or roll the ball, Andrew, you better disguise it extremely well, and it probably better be in an in-system play, because otherwise the defense knows you're getting the ball, and it's an easy read. So I think in those situations, you need to be assertive when you have your opportunities to attack.
Schaffmaster across court finds the line. Dropping it in for the kill.
What a veteran play and a smart shot. Not a ton of outside hitters have this shot in their repertoire and can hit it well, but if you can, it scores most often. So great shot by Schaffmaster.
Now up to 4 kills on the day. We'll try Mabry again. Palazzolo going light with the swing.
Tips aren't really falling for either team.
Foster for the kill. Tied at 5 in set 5.
Yeah, much better swing by Foster there, staying assertive, especially against a single block. If you're ever one-on-one as an attacker, you only have one blocker facing you, that's your green light to go after it.
Dump and the kill. Nicole Drunick.
Wow, so far, just trading punches, yeah. Yeah, heads up play there. If the setters are going forward, it's very difficult to block because you're moving as well as a blocker, right? Heads up play by Drunick.
Schaffmaster. It's going to go off of the Jumbotron above the court. Ball still in play.
How about the swing for the setter there?
Another dump attack and kill for Drunick. Back to back for the graduate setter.
Oh my gosh, and she got set out of that that dig off the scoreboard as well. So she had 2 attempts in that rally. Boy, you couple that with the dig kill she had earlier, she's probably hitting 800. Let's set the setter.
It's been working. Oh, just missed the back line. Line Jones was right on top of it.
That was close. That was close. She's going to challenge, Rob. Coach Rockwell is going to challenge.
Let's see if we got a view of this. Woo, that is close. And you saw the line judge with that flag start to go in and then raise it up. That was close. So let's get another view of this.
And from that angle, it looks just out. It is very close though, Rob. And just a reminder to our viewers, if any
on her challenges, but it was
it's got to be some kind of record.
Crazy bonkers night on Friday in that 4-set game for Louisville and North Carolina. Again, Carolina losing to that tough team from Louisville, 6th in the country. And with that loss, as you see there on your screen, 1-4 is Carolina's conference record. And we mentioned the importance of this match for both teams.
Yep.
Notre Dame losing to Duke on Friday, dropping them to 2-3 in the ACC. If you're Carolina, you find a way to lose this. After winning the first 2 sets, drop the next 3, and you fall to 1-5 in conference play. That is a tough hole to dig out of. So after review, they are going to keep it and rule that out. Point to North Carolina.
Now, interesting adjustment in the serve receive here. We'll see if Shaftmaster goes at Palazzolo, who's passing at a right back.
Joust at the net.
Way to stick with it.
And the block for Carolina. Merkler getting her hands up along with Thurman, and we are tied at 7.
And that's what you have to do if you're Carolina. Anything that's tight to the net, any kind of unorthodox or junk plays you might call them, you need to own those. You need to really have great blocking presence and deny those balls every chance you get.
And an ace for Shaftmaster. So again, did not start, coming back from that injury. She's been in and out of the rotation, and she comes back in and makes a big difference. The 2 teams will switch sides, 8-7 in set 5.
I can never remember how to perfectly format my citations.
Just click Get Citation, and you'll have a full citation ready to copy, always formatted perfectly.
Perfect. I can even show I used Grammarly for paraphrasing.
Use AI tools without compromising your integrity.
Wow, that was fast. This thesis is solid.
94% of students say Grammarly helps improve their grades. Download Grammarly for free.
Yeah, everything's taken care of. Jamie?
Oh, what am I up to? Just visiting a special secret client. I can't say who it is, but let's just say she bundled her dream house and her dream car for round-the-clock protection with Progressive.
Oh.
She has another house in Malibu. She's been an astronaut, an architect, a CEO.
We're in front of her house, dude.
Well, I'd love to tell you who her boyfriend is, but I don't think I can. I'd love to tell you, but I don't think I can.
Marty, look for it on digital and Blu-ray.
Infused with nourishing serum and almond oil, Nivea Essentially Enriched Lotion helps lock in goodness for smooth, luminous skin. So you can go from morning until happy hour with this lady. For goodness that keeps going, nourish on with Nivea.
8-7 here in set 5, and we've been talking about how important it is for both of these teams to get back into the win column today. As you take a look at the conference standings entering today, Notre Dame at 2-3, North Carolina at 1-4. And when you look at the rest of these schedules for both of these teams, Corey, if you're Carolina, if you lose this, drop to 1-5. That is a tough task to try to bounce back, try to scrounge, because some of your opponents coming up, it doesn't get any easier here in the ACC.
It definitely doesn't. Both teams really need this win in kind of similar ways, because both teams are trying to build, they're trying to get some momentum going into the latter part of the conference schedule. And this is a match I think both teams feel like they can win. Boy, great response there from Notre Dame, kind of stopping that mini run from Carolina. Credit Schaffmaster for really upping her level the last couple of points, and that's what great players do in moments like this. So I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a couple of reps out of the back row here just to try to ride that momentum. There she is.
Schaffmaster with a big swing from the back row. And the kill for Ava Lang. The freshman gives Notre Dame a 9-8 lead.
Wow. And, you know, credit the setter, Drunick, there, saving the ball. Merkler thought she might dump again because she's done that before. The middle blocker goes up with her, leaves the outside one-on-one. Point scoring opportunity there for the Irish, and they capitalize. And, Rob, that's really been the theme for Notre Dame the last 2 sets, is that they've capitalized on opportunities that Carolina is giving them where they didn't so much in the first 2 sets. And we're not seeing the same rhythm from Carolina that we saw in the first 2 sets. So, you know, it's been kind of that teeter-totter, you know, back and forth, and we're seeing that right now in set 5 as well.
You get a look at Notre Dame. We were mentioning the upcoming schedules for both these teams. Virginia coming up on Friday, back in South Bend, and then a tough one against number 7 Pitt. For North Carolina, on the road for the next 4 matches.
Wow.
At Syracuse, at Boston College. Those are 2 teams that are kind of in the bottom of the standings with you. But then you get more tough opponents, and both coaches, Rockwell and Shaw, we talked with them earlier, and you asked just about every coach in the ACC. They all have very similar answers about the ACC here in 2023 is super deep, super tough. Anyone can beat anyone on any given night.
Yeah, you have to bring your focus into every match, right? There's no circled wins on the schedule, right? You have to be ready to go every night. And we're seeing it right now in this match where, you know, one team seemed to be in control early and then it flipped. So you've got to be ready to go in this league, night in and night out.
Foster with a big one there. We are tied at 9. You mentioned sets 1 and 2 went North Carolina's way. Sets 3 and 4 went Notre Dame's way. And now we're going back and forth here in set 5.
Yeah, who can stay assertive and not give any bad errors to the other team is probably going to win this set.
Another big swing there from Lang. Swift. Lang again. Another kill for the freshman. She has 13 here today.
Boy, and we're seeing this, you know, when there is a hop and pop play, I'll call it, kind of a quick transition from Notre Dame, Carolina's block is just a little bit slow in recovering, giving just the smallest of seams, and Notre Dame has taken advantage.
And and a block. Lang doing it all for Notre Dame.
Mano a mano, and what a momentum play here. Got the middle checked with the middle on the 31. Lang just dived in and take that cross court away. Great momentum play there by Lang.
Foster, dug up by Munson.
Transition opportunity.
Lang again. And a double hit violation against Schaffmaster.
What you see in that series, I think Schaffmaster's just trying to overplay a little bit. She made a really aggressive serve receive move, basically taking the ball away from Foster and serve receive. You know, in this moment it's hard because you can sense that your team might be slipping a little bit. You want this match so bad. You're a key player. And sometimes in those moments, players can overplay a little bit. And what I mean by that, they can step in front of teammates to try to get balls that normally aren't theirs. They can try to do a little too much, right? And I just feel like in that last rally, we saw Schaffmaster try to do a little too much, you know, and it resulted in an error. And, you know, if you're Notre Dame, you're obviously riding momentum right now. So coming out of this timeout, let's get our serve in, right? And let's play clean and keep the pressure on Carolina. And if you're Carolina, do we present something not completely exotic, but something a little different out of serve receive, maybe a little different play call to try to spark a mini run here and tie it up?
You look at what these two teams have done when they play each other. It has been a fun series. Notre Dame leads the all-time record 9-8. Last year it was Carolina winning in 3 straight sets in South Bend. Here today in Chapel Hill, North Carolina took sets 1 and 2, 25-17, 25-20, and then a completely different Notre Dame team showed up and dominated sets 3 and 4 to send this to a 5th. And the Irish have ripped off a nice little mini run here to go up 12-9. Free ball kill, another overpass, another mistake by the Carolina defense. And the Irish are 2 points away from stunning everyone here in Carmichael Arena.
Well, and you know, from our vantage point, that looked again like a ball that was going toward Foster, and Schaffmaster kind of stepped in front of her to take that ball.
Foster sends it long, and it's match point for the Fighting Irish.
This is a learning moment. Even though it's match point, you've got 5 points against. Can we just stay calm and attack the court and find a little rhythm here? Carolina desperately needs a little bit of a rhythm. Net call.
And yes, Irish in the net. This match will stay alive, at least 1 more point.
What we saw there, Rob, was just steady play from Carolina in that moment. That's all they have to do right now. It's not unheard of to come back from this deficit, but you just got to keep playing and play smart.
That's it. And of course, it's Sydney Palazzolo ending it with her 19th kill of the day, and the Irish complete the reverse sweep. They lose the first 2, they come back and win.